Mike Brown did not come to the New York Knicks to rebuild. He came to win, and his vision for Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns could be the key to bringing a championship back to Madison Square Garden. In this video, I want to break down Mike Brown officially being the next Knicks head coach. I'm really fired up to talk about this as the news broke yesterday. Knicks fans, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments of your opinion on Mike Brown being the next Knicks head coach. I'm excited to dive deep into his plans for guys like Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns and the rest of the roster. So make sure you guys let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe here to Knicks Media if you are new. Let's get straight into business. Now, Mike Brown is coming over from the Sacramento Kings. Most recently went there, and he was the only head coach in NBA history to win Coach of the Year from a unanimous vote, okay? He went to Sacramento, lifted that team up, went to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years or something like that. He has experience coaching Kobe Bryant with the Lakers. He has experience coaching LeBron James with the Cavaliers. He was coaching under Greg Popovich. He was coaching under Steve Kerr. I mean, Mike Brown has all the experience in the world, and I feel like his plans for specifically Jalen Brunson and KAT is pivotal for the success this upcoming season. There are huge shoes to fill for Mike Brown. There is so much pressure now with Mike Brown heading into the season because the Knicks are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. And if Mike Brown cannot get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, or maybe not even getting over the hump of winning the Eastern Conference, Knicks fans are going to look at Mike Brown as a failure. So there's a lot of pressure from Mike Brown. But I feel like his personality of him being extremely animated, his ability to be fierce, competitive, his offensive mindset, I think is exactly what this New York Knicks basketball teams need in order to get over the hump. So what are the plans of Mike Brown with Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns? If you look at the job that he did with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis over there with the Sacramento Kings, he took that offensive potent duo and unleashed their full potential from pick and rolls, unlocking Sabonis's game. De'Aaron Fox, of course, was already a great player. He unlocked his game to another level. I think we're going to see, from a schematic standpoint, Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns feed off of each other in ways that we've not seen before. Tom Thibodeau, as good as he was as a coach defensively, we all know that he was stale and stubborn from the offensive standpoint. The sets were outdated. The ball was not moving freely. And if you look at the statistics with Mike Brown's teams, more specifically with the Sacramento Kings, they love ball movement, off-ball movement, swinging the ball around, and I think that's going to allow this offense to be fluid and getting a lot of players involved. But I really want to focus in on JB and KAT because those are our 2 all-stars. That's the face of this Knicks basketball team. And apparently, Dolan and Leon Rose, when they spoke to Mike Brown, they had to make sure he was on board with those 2 guys being the faces, the pillars of this Knicks basketball team. Because without those 2 guys having a real plan for, it would all fall apart. You got OG, of course, and Bridges and all the guys around KAT and Brunson be excited about, but it starts with the plans for those 2 all-stars to maximize their talent, to maximize their ability to be all-stars for this Knicks basketball team. Okay? I think that the offensive ability of those 2 individuals with Mike Brown is going to be off the charts. Now, you talk about a culture that's going to be established here with the Knicks. In my opinion, there's already a culture, and that has been instilled by Leon Rose and Worldwide West. And a really big important factor of Mike Brown being the coach, according to all the people that are coming out reporting on this, is what stood out about Mike Brown. It's the collaborative effort. Right? What does that mean? Being able to be collaborative from a head coach to the front office. Leon Rose or Worldwide West, they want to be able to have a collaborative effort with the head coach. And maybe that tells you that Tom Thibodeau was not as, open to hearing constructive criticism from upstairs. And maybe Tom Thibodeau was so stubborn in his ways, he's like, nope, this is my way. There's no way you're going to deter me from my way of coaching. I think Mike Brown is going to be way more open to hearing ideas from Leon Rose, from Worldwide West. They want this to be a collaborative effort, and I think that's what you want. You don't want there to be a divide between the front office and the coaching staff. You want it to be in unison, and that was a big part of why the Knicks went after Mike Brown and why they felt like he was the man for the job. The Knicks owner, Dolan, he was sitting in the second interview, and apparently Mike Brown impressed Dolan so much, and he impressed everybody within the Knicks organization so much that he was 100% going to get the job after that second interview. There's a lot of people coming out saying that Mike Brown was enthusiastic. He had a perfect plan that absolutely moved Leon Rose and Dolan enough to just say, you know what, you're our guy, and you are going to be the head coach of this Knicks basketball team. So I think that the Tom Thibodeau era, I'm not going to look at it as a failure personally. I do think that that was a success. 5 seasons, 4 playoff appearances, an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. That's successful, in my opinion. Coach of the year. But now there's going to be a new bar to fulfill, right? The Knicks have risen. We are good now. Mike Brown does not need to come here and lift us from the dead like he had to do with the Sacramento Kings. This foundation is built, okay? Now it's his opportunity to take what's been built from Tom Thibodeau and get it over the hump. The perfect example of this is what the Golden State Warriors had. Mark Jackson, when he was there with the young Steph Curry, he got them back to relevancy, and then the Warriors decided to move on from Mark Jackson. They hired Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr took the foundation that Mark Jackson built and brought them into the dynasty of the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying that the Knicks are about to be a dynasty, but that's what we want. We want Tom Thibodeau to be looked at as the guy that built the foundation up, got them to where they could be, and the Knicks felt like Tom Thibodeau was capped out. They can't get any better than that. How can we find somebody else to now take what Tom Thibodeau built and get it over the hump? Because this roster is built to win a championship. And I do not think the Knicks need to make a trade for Giannis in order to win a championship. I know that there's rumors out there about LeBron James. No, the Knicks do not need to trade for LeBron James in order to be a serious championship contender. This Knicks roster, with the additions of Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele off the bench, with Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson, the starting 5 of last season, I think this Knicks basketball team is good enough to be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and go after an NBA title. And I think that Mike Brown's plan for this Knicks squad is going to be really fun to watch unfold as training camp starts, preseason, and of course the regular season, but more specifically in the playoffs. Now, a lot of people are a little questionable about Mike Brown. Well, he didn't win any playoff games with the Sacramento Kings. He doesn't have any success in the playoffs. I disagree. He's got a winning record in the postseason throughout his head coaching career. He's won multiple championships as an assistant. He's been to the NBA Finals with a young LeBron James back in the early Cleveland Cavaliers days. So this guy has so much experience, and that's really important here. We're not going after somebody that has never been a head coach before. The Knicks were not going to bring in a guy from college. They're not going to bring in an assistant, even though they did, interview some assistants. They wanted to bring in a guy that knows what it takes to build a absolute championship contender, and he has been, like I mentioned earlier, behind Steve Kerr, behind Greg Popovich. He's coached guys like Kobe, LeBron James. Like, this guy's been around so much, just fantastic basketball minds, fantastic basketball players, and now he's going to take all of his knowledge of being an assistant and a head coach throughout his career, try to put it all together and create the best plan for Jalen Brunson and KAT and the rest of the Knicks roster to try to elevate them to win an NBA title. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks, about the video and about Mike Brown being the official head coach of the New York Knicks. Very excited to hear what you guys have to say, as always, down below in the comments. Hit the like button if you did not already, and let's go Knicks. Welcome to the New York Knicks, Mike Brown.